Hi, Mr. Mystic. I watched that video where you went off into a rant about how one person was commenting saying how the powers that be, all the politicians, the corporations, heads of corporations, and so forth, uh, are colluding together to enslave the population, and you call it BS, and in a sense, it is because they're not colluding together. For example, getting in a room and deciding, "Hey, let's do this specifically." It's a little bit more easier to understand if you understand it this way. It's more of taking actions that benefit themselves, and the consequences are not considered because it enriches them. So the action is going to enslave people, but they don't specifically know that it is enslaving people. But they may, and even if they did, they may not care. And let me give you an example of how that would work in, for example, in the lower level, so that you could understand the concept. I know this is not exactly the same way, but I will explain it the same way. I'll explain it at a higher level, but basically, let's just assume that the government was going to give people who did not pay their $1 million mortgage, but only $1 million plus mortgage, all the money back, money and to pay their mortgage. Actually, to give them all the money to pay their mortgage, and it was just going to print it up and pay their mortgage and give it, and they'd have over $1 million house for free. And this would only happen to people with a 700 plus credit score, for example, and enough to get the mortgage, um, to get this particular type of mortgage. So, what would happen is, even though some people would realize, well, wait a minute, if I did that, that would hyperinflate. If a lot of people did that, that would hyperinflate their currency, and that would be bad. And maybe I shouldn't do that. But what happens is a lot of people realize that, well, wait a minute, I can make a lot of money with this house, and have a place to live and blah blah blah, and give all kinds of other reasons to justify their actions, and then take that action, and not really. Most of them wouldn't really consider the consequences, and they would just do it. So that is what you have: people taking action that have a negative consequences on the rest of the population. And to make it more clear on exactly what these politicians and businessmen are doing, let's take, for example, consider for a second, actually. Let's just consider for a second who is responsible for the debt that a CEO takes on for his company, or a government official takes on for its nation or locality. Is it the person who takes on the debt, who signs that paper? Is it the government official that signs on the dotted line? Is it the CEO that signs on the dotted line that's on the hook? You get the picture. Yes, it is more complicated than that, but this is an example.